Hey guys, and welcome back to Walker's Workshop. Today in the shop we're going to be working on our Kioti. We're going to be showing you guys how to adjust your hydraulic pressure. You can bump it up from the factory, get a little better lift capacity out of it. Also you get a little more strength with the backhoe and any of your 3-point accessories. So follow along, we're going to get started. Alright guys, so we're working on a CS model Kioti. This is a 2510. The procedure to do this is the same on the 2510, 2210, and also the 20 series, the 2520 and the 2220. The location for the pressure relief valve is right here behind the right rear tire. Let's get it off, see what's back there. Alrighty guys, here we are. I got the right rear tire pulled off, and the pressure relief valve is right up here. It's this guy right here, as you can see. I'm not sure, my tractor came with the backhoe, so I have this this tank line here, return line. To access this, it's a little hard to get in there with this hose right here, so won't lose a lot of fluid. We'll go ahead, we'll spin this hose off and get to adjusting. Okay, I need to mention one thing. Before you make any adjustments and before you take any of your hydraulic hoses apart, you probably want to check your factory pressure settings. Especially just in case you bought the tractor pre-owned, maybe somebody already adjusted them. Maybe the factory adjustment settings aren't quite where you might thought they should be, or in spec or something like that. You might have issues with your tractor that need to be addressed before adjusting the pressure. So don't unhook any of your hydraulic hoses before checking the factory hydraulic pressure setting. Okay, so we'll just use our handy dandy adjustable wrench here. Loosen that line up. Again, any modifications that you may want to do to your tractor like this, adjusting OEM pressure settings or any adjustments like this, is all done at your own risk, because it can and will void warranties if you have issues. You can break stuff by doing this, by having more pressure than your manufacturer suggests. Okay, so this is a 22 millimeter or 7/8. Either one should do the job. Okay, so right here we've got our 6 millimeter Allen wrench in. I have my pressure gauge hooked up to my Power Beyond, which is this line coming straight out of the bottom of the loader control valve. Other model tractors may have it other places. I'm not sure. If you don't have a backhoe, I don't know if you will have this line. You can hook it up in the front end loader lines right out of there, and get your pressure readings. Before I do any adjusting, let's go ahead, start the tractor up, and see what our factory pressure is set at. Alright guys, so I don't have any type of a scale or any real way to show you, like, you can lift X amount of pounds now and X amount of pounds later, but I do want to show you some real world scenarios. I have my old pickup here in the garage as a project. I've been working on this project for quite a while. It doesn't always run. Sometimes, you know, from sitting in the garage for months at a time, I'm in the middle of doing something with it and I need it moved. I need to get into the garage, I got to do something. So I like to use the tractor. I can just pick it up and move it around. Well, we're gonna see what it does factory settings, and then we'll go ahead and we'll go back and we'll see what it does at the adjusted settings. So right now I got a flat tire on the truck. Maybe I need to move it out of the garage. So our factory hydraulic pressure setting is right around about 1900 psi. We'll see if the tractor will lift it. So while the tractor will lift it up, it will not take it off the ground. I can't lift it or curl it or anything. I'm not picking the back of the tractor up off the ground. Nothing. So we're on the ground. Nothing's happening. So let's go ahead and finish adjusting our pressure and see what we can do. Okay, you could set it wherever you want. I don't care what you do. It's your tractor. I set mine, as you saw, at 2600 with the spike. We'll see how it goes at that setting. Like I said, do it at your own risk. You can set your tractor at whatever you want. Crank it all the way up for I don't care. Be careful, because although the tractors are built to withstand a lot of force and a lot of abuse, when adjusting the pressure to points above factory recommended specs, you do risk breaking stuff and damaging your equipment. The dealer will not warranty anything. The factory won't warranty it as long as they know that it's been modified. Do this at your own risk. We'll go over later how much actual force that I've changed the tractor. Like I said, I don't have a scale. I couldn't tell you how much more it will lift other than a real world scenario. So let's get the tire put back on. It's just that easy. Loosen the jam nut, tighten it while you're watching the pressure. That's all there is to it. So let's get at it. Okay, we're back here at the truck. Our pressure is there you have it. Lifted it right up off the ground. I have no idea what the back of that truck weighs. I'm gonna guess it's 1,500 pounds, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know. Do this at your own risk. But it's that easy. I wanted to show you guys how to do it. Now let's go in and see the technical side of what we did. Alrighty guys, so you know what we did today, and you know why we did it, right? We wanted more lift capacity. We wanted to increase the pressure, the capabilities of our tractor. But what did we actually do? Yeah, we adjusted the pressure. You watched me do it. But what technically is happening, and why? More importantly, why does adjusting the pressure, how does it work, kind of? So it's real simple. It's just a couple of math equations here. Of course, to get more lift capacity, you need more force out of the hydraulic cylinder. So to find how much force is being applied and how much you're actually adjusting it, and to find out really how everything works, force is or equal to the area of the cylinder times the amount of pressure that the tractor is putting out. Well, we now know the amount of pressure that we're putting out. So our first, so we know this number. We want to know this number. So in order to find this number, we need this one right here, area. So the area of the hydraulic cylinder, it's a pretty poor picture, but so what's happening here is and I don't know the actual size of the cylinders on the tractor. They don't look very big. They're like 2 inches. So maybe till you have the thickness of the wall of the cylinder itself, maybe we'll call it 1.75 inches, 1.75 inches. So this equation right here is going to be area equals radius squared times pi. So we know pi is 3.14. Let's just say we have an 1.5 inch cylinder on the left, 1.5 inch cylinder on the right. So we're going to call it 3 inches. So the radius is going to be half of 3 inches, which would be 1.5. Okay, so we need 1.5, which is the radius, squared. So 1.5 times 1.5 is going to be 2.25. Okay, so we need pi times 2.25 is going to equal our area. So let's see, let's do the math here. 2.25 times 3.14 is going to be 7.06. All right, so now we know our area. Our area is 7 point, all right, so let's do this here. So force, right here, force equals our area, 7.06 times our pressure. So our pressure before we started was 1900. So let's see, 7.06 times 1900 psi was 13,423 pounds. That's how much force those cylinders put out, which I know sounds like an astronomical amount because the tractor only lifts, like right around 1,000 pounds, but there's loader geometry that's figured into all that, and way more. We'll get into that in a later video. So this was our force before modification. So we didn't modify the cylinders in any way. So our force isn't going to change. Our area isn't going to change, 7.06. Okay, our pressure now went from 1900 psi, 7.06 times 2600 psi. Now our force is 18,000 356 pounds. So this right here is what we increased. We increased our force of the output of the cylinder. So I don't want to backtrack here, but you're going to have your square inches of area here, and of course being round you got all these little pieces. That's how you figure out the surface area. And then of course your pressure is the other thing you need. That gives you these numbers, and this is what really is increased, is the amount of force that the cylinders is putting out. So in a nutshell, this really is what we're doing. We're increasing the force by adjusting the pressure. You could also, if you wanted to, you could not adjust your pressure at all. This could stay 1900 pounds if you put larger cylinders on there. So let's say you put, instead of having 3 inches, you put 4-inch cylinders on there. So now, instead of this number, this is your area, or this is your radius, right, was 2.25. With a 3-inch cylinder, your radius is going to change, so your area is going to change. So let's just do that real quick. So the radius of a 4-inch cylinder is 2-inch, and of course everybody knows 2 times 2 is 4. Yep, 4. I had a little brain fart there. Okay, too many numbers here that I didn't erase. So 3.14 times 4.0 is going to be what, 12.56. 12.56. So now 12.56, right, is our area. So we have force equals area times psi. So now our force, without changing the pressure at all, right? So now we're going to have 12.56 times our factory 1900 psi setting is 23,864. So if you only increase the cylinders by 1 inch, well, so if you have 1.5 inches on one side, 1.5 inches on the other side, if you increased each side by 1/2 inch, you could use the factory pressure and get way more force out of it than increasing the pressure. So just something to think about as far as what may be better. Maybe you're thinking now about putting larger cylinders on and not touching the pressure. That's fine. Cylinders are expensive. Adjusting the hydraulic pressure costs nothing. If one thing I want to mention, and I could go back to the tractor, if you don't have an adjustable pressure relief, it's real simple. Where I loosen the jam nut, you could take the jam nut off and take the whole assembly out. There's a spring in there. You simply just put shims in that spring to stiffen it up, and you get the same thing. I can do that. I probably will do that on the Kubota BX. It does not have an adjustable one. It would just get some shims in the spring to space it up and bump the pressure up. We'll do that in another video. But yeah, this is how it works, guys. This is the technical part of it. You saw what to do, what the outcome was, and this is the math behind it. I hope this, guys, helped you out. If you want to see more videos, I'll probably do some shorts, short videos. Maybe I can find somebody that has a crane scale that I can adjust it back to stock and check it, and then bump the pressure up and get some real factual numbers on that. I don't have a crane scale. So don't forget to like, subscribe, follow along with us. We got a lot more of this stuff coming. I want to do a video on loader geometry to show you how this 23,000 or 13 or 18,000 pounds turns into 1,000 pounds or 1,500 or whatever. So we're going to be doing some loader geometry stuff next time. So follow along. We'll catch you guys on the next one.